The Oscar, the most sought-after award in the motion picture industry. Most every person who has ever worked in the film business strives for this elusive gold statue. To win an Oscar signifies that in a particular year, you were voted the very best in your craft by your peers, whether it be acting, directing, producing, or any other labor connected with the making of a successful motion picture. It was MGM art director Cedric Gibbons who designed the original Oscar statue, and the first award ceremony took place in 1928 when the silent classic Wings won Best Picture honors. Since those first gold statues were handed out over 50 years ago, the Oscar has become a highly contested and coveted item. Each year, millions upon millions of people, not only in this country, but the world over, tune into the televised Oscar special to see who will walk away with the prize statue in each category. The list of Oscar-winning films and people over the last half-century represents the finest the film industry has given to the world. Conversely, the list of Oscar non-winners is almost as impressive. It's hard to believe that outstanding performers such as Richard Burton, Barbara Stanwyck, Kirk Douglas, Judy Garland, and Cary Grant have never won an Oscar for any of their memorable screen portrayals. What's more, great directors such as Alfred Hitchcock, Cecil B. DeMille, Howard Hawks, and Orson Welles were never honored by the Academy voters for their directorial genius. These great directors and performers have given so much to the world through their screen triumphs, and yet they are the great Oscar losers. Until 1982, the leading contender in the Oscar sweepstakes for actors was Richard Burton. Nominated 7 times, Burton failed to win a single Oscar in his long and illustrious career. Then, in 1982, Peter O'Toole received his 7th Best Actor nomination for his work in My Favorite Year. But when Ben Kingsley won for his portrayal of Gandhi, O'Toole moved into a tie with Burton for most Oscar losses. In 3rd place are character actor Arthur Kennedy and leading man Al Pacino, each with 5 unsuccessful ballot appearances. Alone in 4th place in the most losses for an actor category is Montgomery Clift with 4 near misses. Kirk Douglas has appeared on the ballot 3 times without a win, and 2-time losers include greats such as Charlie Chaplin, Cary Grant, Basil Rathbone, James Mason, and Peter Sellers. Among the renowned screen personalities who have been nominated once without success are Gene Kelly, Robert Mitchum, Orson Welles, William Powell, Rock Hudson, and Fred Astaire. Interestingly, Astaire didn't receive his nomination for a starring role in one of his classic musicals, but for a supporting role in the 1974 production of The Towering Inferno. The leading non-winners among actresses are the versatile Deborah Kerr and the great character actress Thelma Ritter, each having achieved 6 nominations. 2nd place in this category also shows a tie, this one between Irene Dunne and Agnes Moorehead, both losing out on 5 occasions. The beautiful and mysterious Greta Garbo was nominated 4 times, as was Barbara Stanwyck and Marsha Mason. Silent star Gloria Swanson is alone in 4th place, coming up empty-handed after 3 tries. And Judy Garland holds down the 5th spot with 2 unsuccessful nominations. The famous actresses who received only 1 nomination but didn't go home winners are Marlene Dietrich, Lana Turner, and Carole Lombard. In the category of non-winning directors, the biggest standout is the great Alfred Hitchcock, without question one of the most important filmmakers in history. Hitch was nominated 4 times for Lifeboat, Spellbound, Rear Window, and Psycho, but never went home a winner. Tied with Hitchcock is today's Hollywood phenomenon Steven Spielberg, nominated for Jaws, Close Encounters of the Third Kind, Raiders of the Lost Ark, and E.T. Spielberg has lost out each time. However, it's a safe bet that before his career is over, Steven Spielberg will one day bring the gold statue home. 2nd place in the director's category belongs to William Wellman. perhaps the most underrated director in film history. Wellman directed such classics as Wings, Public Enemy, Nothing Sacred, A Star is Born, Beau Geste, and many, many others. Nominated as Best Director for Battleground and The High and the Mighty, Wild Bill Wellman, as he was known, lost both times. He did, however, win a Best Screenplay Oscar for co-writing A Star is Born. Third place features a three-way tie among three of the cinema's greatest directors. As amazing as it may seem, Cecil B. DeMille, Orson Welles, and Howard Hawks all received only one nomination, but on Oscar night, each was a loser. Perhaps the most dubious distinction in the Oscar sweepstakes is the never even nominated category. This category includes such luminaries as John Barrymore, Errol Flynn, Jean Harlow, Edward G. Robinson, Joseph Cotton, Boris Karloff, Peter Lorre, and Marilyn Monroe. There is one more very famous performer who never received so much as a nomination from the Academy voters. In a career that spanned close to 3 decades and over 50 films, this Warner Brothers contract player never made an Oscar ballot, although he gave fine performances in such classic films as Dark Victory, King's Row, and The Hasty Heart, and is well remembered for his portrayal as the Gipper in Knute Rockne, All-American. It seems the Academy voters never considered this star a serious actor. However, only 16 years after appearing in his last film, this performer did receive a nomination. He did appear on a ballot of a different sort and won a much more impressive election than the Oscar race could ever be. There can be no question that the voters in this election took him quite seriously.